Have you ever walked into a room and instantly felt different? Maybe calmer, more relaxed, or strangely on edge. Now, think about your loved one living with dementia. Have you noticed how they seem unsettled in some places, yet peaceful in others, and you couldn't quite figure out why? It's not just coincidence. It's not just the furniture or the noise or the time of day. It could be something much simpler and far more powerful than you ever imagined. Color. Yes, color. The shades on the walls. The brightness of a chair. The tone of a door. It may sound strange at first, but color doesn't just fill space, it shapes how we feel inside it. And for someone living with dementia, who may already feel lost, confused, or anxious, the wrong color can make their world more overwhelming. But the right color, it can bring peace, focus, even joy. I know it's hard. Watching someone you love fade into forgetfulness. You feel helpless, like there's nothing you can do. But what if I told you that something as simple as a paintbrush or a brightly colored plate could help them feel more safe, more present, more connected? This isn't just about decorating. This is about giving your loved one a sense of control in a world that's slipping away from them. In today's video, we're unlocking the secret power of color for seniors with dementia. You're going to learn how specific colors can reduce anxiety, stimulate memory, boost appetite, and even promote independence. And most importantly, you'll learn how to use these colors to create a space that feels like home again. So stay with me. You're about to discover something that could change how you care for the person you love. Before we dive in, take a second to type "color power" in the comments if you believe that small changes can make a big difference. And if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss important insights like this from all of us here at Healthy Senior Advice. Let's begin. 1. Calming versus agitating colors. Picture this. You walk into a nursing home. The walls are stark white. The floors are a cold gray tile. The lighting is bright, almost sterile. You notice something almost immediately. The residents seem anxious, fidgeting, some pacing, others staring off with unease in their eyes. And the staff, exhausted, overwhelmed, constantly redirecting, constantly soothing. Now, let's rewind that same scene, but this time, the walls are painted in soft pastel blues. The curtains are a gentle sage green. Warm wood tones replace the gray floors. There's still activity, yes, but the energy is different. Residents are relaxed. A few are humming. One smiles as she watches the sunlight dance through a leafy green curtain. Why? Because color affects the nervous system, especially in aging brains. You see, cool colors like blue, green, and even some soft lavenders activate the parasympathetic nervous system. That's the body's natural rest and digest mode. These colors help lower heart rate, reduce anxiety, and promote a sense of safety. In contrast, harsh or stimulating colors, like bright red, orange, or intense neon hues, can elevate stress. They stimulate the brain, raise blood pressure, and create tension. Now here's the problem. Many families, with all the best intentions, paint rooms using modern bold color palettes they saw on Pinterest or in magazines. They think it adds energy, style. But for a senior with dementia, it can be completely overwhelming, even disorienting. So what can you do? Start simple. Begin with the bedroom. That's often the most sacred space, the place where rest should be effortless. Choose pastel blue or soft green walls. Avoid glossy finishes. Go with a matte or eggshell texture to reduce glare. Add curtains or cushions in similar soft tones. Nothing too busy. Keep patterns minimal. Think calm, think safe, think home. And this isn't just about paint. A navy blue comforter can offer warmth and peace. A light sage lampshade might make bedtime less intimidating. It's about building a space where your loved one's entire body feels at ease, before a single word is spoken. But color doesn't stop at calming. Because as dementia progresses, finding the bathroom, or even the front door, can become a daily challenge. And that's where color becomes your loved one's guide. 2. Color as a navigational tool. Let me tell you about Sarah. Her mother, June, was in the early stages of dementia. She was still mostly independent, but one frustrating issue kept happening. June would wander the hallway and forget where the bathroom was. She'd pass by the door again and again, only to end up upset, confused, and embarrassed. Sarah tried signs. Big, bold letters. Labels with arrows. Nothing worked. Until one day, she had an idea. She painted the bathroom door bright yellow. And you know what? That simple change made all the difference. June never missed it again. Why does this work? As visual perception declines, especially with age and dementia, our loved ones don't just read their environment, they see it in terms of contrast and cues. High contrast colors stand out. They help the brain process boundaries and locations more clearly. Colors like yellow, red, and orange aren't always calming, but when used intentionally, they can act like a lighthouse in the fog. They draw attention. They guide the way. And here's a misconception. Most people think text labels are enough. But in dementia care, recognition depends far more on shape and color than on words. So instead of putting a sign on the bathroom door, paint the door itself. Instead of labeling the toilet seat, make it a different color than the floor or bowl. Use contrasting placemats at mealtimes, so the plate doesn't vanish into the table. Think of your loved one's world as a fading picture. Your job is to highlight what matters most. And this isn't just about finding rooms. It's about preserving a sense of independence. When your loved one can recognize their surroundings, without constantly asking for help, they feel more in control. And that confidence, however small, is everything. But visibility isn't just about getting around. It's about staying safe and feeling capable in the everyday routines we so often take for granted. And that brings us to something deeply practical and often overlooked. How color can help your loved one with daily tasks that once felt effortless, but now feel impossible. Let's explore how color can rebuild routines and restore dignity in the process. Stay with me. 3. Enhancing appetite through color. There's a story I can't forget. An elderly man named Arthur, kind, gentle, a former schoolteacher, suddenly lost interest in food. His daughter thought it was depression. He didn't seem sad, just detached. No matter what she cooked, his favorite stew, warm apple pie, he'd push the plate away. Every meal became a moment of silent concern. Then one day, something changed. At a care group, another family suggested trying brightly colored plates. Skeptical but desperate, Arthur's daughter replaced his plain white dinnerware with deep blue plates. The result? He ate. Not just a few bites, he cleared the whole dish. And at dinner, he even smiled. Why? Because in dementia, the problem isn't always hunger. It's often visual processing. As the brain changes, so does depth perception. Contrast fades. To someone with dementia, food on a white plate, especially light-colored foods, can look invisible. It blends right in. But when that same food is placed on a bold red or blue plate, it becomes clear, distinct, and the brain recognizes it as food. There's research to back this up. Studies show that using colored dishware can increase food intake by up to 25% in seniors with cognitive decline. It's not about tricking the brain. It's about helping it see again, clearly and confidently. And yet, so often, we blame loss of appetite on mood, on aging, on illness. We assume they've given up, when in reality, they just can't see what's in front of them. So here's a small but powerful tip. Switch to colored dishware. Use high-contrast plates, deep blues, bright reds, for lighter foods. Try yellow for greens. Avoid glass or clear bowls, they're practically invisible to aging eyes. Also, add contrast with tablecloths. If the plate is red, place it on a neutral or dark placemat to create definition. You can even switch colors for each meal. A blue plate for breakfast. A red one for lunch. Something new at dinner. This variety doesn't just engage the senses, it stimulates the appetite in a gentle, natural way. But color isn't just about helping someone eat. It can also touch something deeper. Something locked away in memory. A color can trigger a moment from childhood, a flash of a happier time. And that's what we're diving into next. 4. Color therapy for memory and emotion. Imagine walking into a room and instantly feeling like you've been there before. Not because of the furniture or the smell, but because of the color on the walls. It's a warm mustard yellow, just like your grandmother's kitchen back in the 1950s. Suddenly, your mind lights up. You remember cookies baking, the sound of a spoon stirring tea. You remember home. That's exactly what happened at a memory care facility in Ohio. They redecorated several rooms using nostalgic color palettes, hues tied to the decades their residents grew up in. One wing had muted greens and sunflower yellows. Another had soft pinks and turquoise like an old diner. And the result? Residents who rarely spoke began commenting on the walls. One man whispered, "This looks just like my mother's living room." Conversations started. Memories surfaced. Smiles returned. Why? Because color is deeply tied to emotion and memory. When the brain sees a familiar color, it often reconnects it to a moment in time. And for someone with dementia, even the smallest recollection can be a breakthrough. Now, many people assume that only music or scent can trigger memory. And yes, those are powerful. But color is always present, always in our visual field, meaning it has constant potential to connect with emotion. Here's something you can try. Ask your loved one, what colors remind you of home? Maybe it's the pastel green of their childhood bedroom, or the red gingham curtains in their first kitchen. Maybe it's the sky blue they saw every day walking to school. You might be surprised at how specific and meaningful their answers are. Use those colors. In curtains. In pillows. In photo frames. Even in artwork you hang on the wall. These familiar tones create a sense of comfort and grounding, even if they can't explain why. You're not just decorating. You're designing a bridge, a way back to themselves. But memory isn't the only thing color can support. What if color could also help your loved one regain some independence? Especially with everyday tasks that have become frustrating and confusing? Because the next tip might just give them a little bit of their confidence back. 5. Promoting daily independence with color coding. Meet Elena. She's been caring for her dad, George, who's in the middle stages of dementia. He's still sharp in some ways, but his morning routine had become a mess. He'd open every drawer in the bathroom looking for his toothbrush. Clothes ended up in the wrong places. Taking medication on time? Nearly impossible. Then Elena tried something simple. She used colored stickers. Red for clothes. Green for hygiene. Yellow for medication. She placed a red dot on his shirt drawer. A green label on the bathroom cabinet. A yellow box for his pills. And within a week, George was dressing himself again. Brushing his teeth without prompts. He even reminded her when it was time for his medication. Why did this work? Because color is a shortcut for the brain. It reduces something called cognitive load, the amount of mental effort required to process information. Instead of trying to remember where things are, the brain begins to associate tasks with color. And this isn't just helpful, it's empowering. A common mistake families make is relying on text labels. But as reading ability declines, those words become meaningless. Visual cues win every time. So here's how to set this up in your home. Use a consistent color system. Red for anything related to dressing. Blue for eating. Green for hygiene. Place colored stickers or labels on drawers, cabinets, or bins. Match color-coded cups with toothbrushes. Use pill organizers with colored sections for each time of day. Over time, your loved one won't need reminders. They'll follow the colors. And that small bit of independence, it means everything. It tells them, I can still do things. I still have control. I still matter. These may seem like little changes. A plate color. A painted door. A drawer sticker. But for someone living with dementia, they're lifelines. They're moments of dignity, clarity, and peace in a world that often feels confusing and out of reach. And we're just getting to the heart of it all. Because what you're really doing isn't just using color. You're unlocking a deeper connection with someone you love. And in the next section, we'll go even deeper. Into the emotions, the heartbreak, and the hope behind all of this. Stay with me. It's hard, isn't it? Watching someone you love slowly fade. One day they know your name. The next, they pause, searching for it like it's been swept away by a tide they can't control. You want to reach them. Hold on. Say, I'm still here. You're still here. But sometimes, the words just don't land. And that's what makes dementia so devastating. It's not just about memory, it's about the disconnection. The daily struggle to hold on to what once felt automatic. Brushing teeth, finding the bathroom, finishing a meal. But here's where it changes. Imagine discovering that something as simple and available as color, not medicine, not equipment, can ease that struggle. Can soothe the chaos, reduce fear, bring peace. That knowledge, it's like finding a light switch in a dark room. Because when we start looking through the lens of compassion and creativity, we stop seeing limitations. And we start seeing possibility. Dementia may take away many things. But it also invites us to look deeper. To discover new ways of connecting, ways that aren't about logic or memory or language, but about feeling. Color reaches them in a way words sometimes can't. It says, you are safe. You are home. You are not alone. So today, look around your loved one's space. Look closely. Is the bedroom filled with harsh lighting and sterile whites? Could a soft blue blanket bring them peace? Does the bathroom blend into a blur of neutral tones? What if a bold yellow door helped them find their way again? It doesn't take a renovation. It doesn't require training. You don't need to be a designer or therapist. Just a loving heart and a willingness to try. Because the power to ease their world is already in your hands. Sometimes, healing begins with a paintbrush, or a plate, or a label on a drawer. And that power, that quiet, life-changing influence, you hold it right now. So let's take a moment to remember what we uncovered today. We talked about how color calms, the soft blues and gentle greens that help ease agitation and bring serenity to a restless mind. We explored color as a guide, how a yellow door or a red seat can turn confusion into confidence, giving someone back a sense of direction. We saw how color awakens appetite, a simple switch to a blue or red plate making meals visible again, bringing nourishment back to the table. We looked at color as memory, how mustard yellows or cozy pinks can unlock the past, bringing joy and stories long thought lost. And we learned how color can give back independence, with coded cues that reduce frustration and restore a small, beautiful piece of self-reliance. These aren't tricks. They're not gimmicks. They're tools, gentle, powerful tools for building a world that feels less overwhelming and more familiar. And now, I want to hear from you. Have you used color in your caregiving journey? Did a bright blue cup help your mom drink more water? Did a yellow sign stop your dad from wandering past the bathroom? Your stories matter. Your insights help others. Drop a comment below and tell us, which color change made the biggest difference for you? Let's create a space where caregivers lift each other up, where your hard-earned wisdom becomes someone else's breakthrough. And if this video opened your eyes to something new, if it gave you even one small idea that might help, click that like button. It helps more people find these life-changing insights. And don't forget to subscribe to Healthy Senior Advice. Every week, we share real, research-backed strategies to bring more comfort, clarity, and dignity to aging loved ones. And to the beautiful, strong souls caring for them, you are not alone. You're part of a movement. A circle of hearts who believe that even the smallest change can mean everything. So thank you. Thank you for your compassion, your time, and your willingness to see dementia through a softer, wiser lens. Until next time, stay kind, stay curious, and never stop believing in the power of love and color. See you in the next video.